Throughout history, men have always been drawn to grass. Whether it be in the park, a sports ground, or simply in your own garden, there's just something about those quintessential British stripes that makes you want them for yourself. Not to mention getting one over on your neighbours. Follow Daniel on his lawn journeys in his step-by-step videos this year whilst you create your own lawn journey, achieving that dream lawn you have always wanted with simple and easy to follow methods. The lawn you have always dreamed of is only a grass seed away. Now sit back and enjoy the video. Oh, and one more thing, if you want to subscribe, you know what to do.
Okay, so we're back 2 weeks after the renovations. As you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. The seed's just coming through. See if I can show you the shade. Just got a nice little spot there where it's coming through. So just got a few tips coming through all over. It's been very slow, this job, because we've just not had no moisture really. We've had a bit of rain, but it rained earlier, but it doesn't seem to have rained here, which is worrying because it absolutely threw it down. So I just wonder where it went for me, but other gardens got water, so that's all right. So this one's just coming through as well. Again, very slow. Not had much auxiliary watering either, because the customer's been away. I've watered it once, but the water pressure is just so rubbish. It's just not conducive with my time. So I have literally just left it, and just whatever rain has fallen it's had. It's a bit dry here. So what I want to do today is, we're in a rush to get going now because we haven't got much time left before the actual kind of season is over, if you know what I mean, in terms of we're nearly at middle May. So we really want this lawn looking decent by the end of May. So I'm going to do a few things today. I'm going to spray Pro and Steller in one, and then I'm going to apply the equilibrium as well. In fact, I'll do the equilibrium first and then spray, and then the equilibrium doesn't stick to the wet leaf. So we'll do it that way around, and then we'll give it a good watering tomorrow because it's going to be a hot weekend. So this lawn will just fry if it gets too hot, because it just really wet in the winter. Typical bad drainage job, really wet in the winter, bone dry in the summer, and that's how you know you've got bad drainage. So get that mixed up. It's a bit of a change from last year, because when I was here doing these areas, it had just chucked it down, hadn't it? And it was all squelch here and everything, and the moor did a bit of damage. But if that is the case, still cut it, because you'll do more damage not cutting the lawn than leaving it. So we are desperate to get this one going, because it's seen better days, but we'll get there. It's a bit windy, but I'm just stuck now. I've just got to, it's windy for the next 7 days, so I just got to get on with it and spray. But not to worry, I'll just take my time and get it on. So I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so I've got my equilibrium in there, ready to go on there. Going to go on at 30 grams a square metre. That's 100 square metres, so I've weighed it 3 kilos and we're good to go. Right, okay, I've got Pro, Grace, Steller in the tank. I've even thrown in a bit of Galactic Green just for the nitrogen content, and that iron just to give us a little bit of a boost of colour for the customer. How fitting that we should say Pro and Grace, because it's now time to say the lawn's prayer. So put your hands together for me and join in. For what the lawn is about to receive, may it be truly thankful. Amen. That's really good. Let's get spraying. Okay, so that's all on now. Sprayed on, equilibrium on, water it in tomorrow quite heavily. We don't need to worry about the Pro and Grace, that needs to get into the roots to be taken up. Steller could do with leaving on the leaf for about an hour, which is what's going to happen, and then that can get washed in as well, and then the equilibrium will get washed in as a byproduct for watering all those in. What that is going to do for us is the Pro and Steller are going to get that root down deeper. It's going to get to second leaf stage quicker, so then it can photosynthesize and take advantage of the sun we're going to get hopefully over the weekend we've been promised. The equilibrium is our feed, which is going to provide the building blocks to give us a nice strong growth with the calcium in there, some cell wall strength, magnesium in there, a bit of colour, the mycorrhizae to build colonies which act as root elongators, so your roots are actually going to be longer, and the mycorrhizae actually take up the nutrients and then take it through them into the root itself, into the plant, and then the humic acid in there to create ladders which create bridges from which nutrients that would be not available to uptake can be taken up. So it's a good product, all in one, and all you need really. An 18.5 15 NPK, so you're going to get some nice strong green growth. 50% coated as well, so you're not releasing it all at once. You're not going to get like a massive plume of growth, which is unhealthy. You're going to get nice sustained growth. I've seen some good results already on my Facebook group page, so onwards and upwards for everybody who's bought that. Don't have to worry about it scorching again because it's coated. The salt index remains very low, and that's what scorches the grass in the end, is that salt index of putting too much nitrogen on in one go if you put it on in ammonium nitrate form. So that's it from me today here. Going to be cracking on at the former Britain's best lawn, Britain's worst lawn this year so far. We're going to scarify that hopefully this week and crack on there. So all that leaves me to do is to say farewell, and I'll see you at Britain's best lawn. See you soon. Okay, I know I said goodbye, but I've just come back to this job just to have a look at it because I've not cut it since Sunday. It's Tuesday today, and you can see how much it's grown already. It's really thickening up nicely. Now what I just wanted to tell you is that you can put all the products in the world on your lawn, but if you're not willing to do the regular cutting, it isn't going to thicken up. So you can't feed it and then let it grow for 2 weeks and then cut it and expect it to be thick. The key in getting that lovely thick lawn that you desire is regular cutting. If you can do it with a cylinder, I believe you can get it tighter and denser, but if rotary is all you've got, then you will achieve similar results, but just not as good as if you're using a cylinder. So even from Sunday, you can see how much it's thickened up. Still a few areas where it needs to thicken up a bit more, like on the edges, but because they get more wear because I'm turning, these take a bit longer. A few patches where we dug out, which are coming through slowly. The main area is over here. If I just show you what it was like 4 weeks ago and what it is now, this doesn't get the sun till this time, and that area there never sees the sun at all. So you see it's not coming through. There's not much I can do about that. There is bits and pieces coming through, so they'll thicken up. And this weekend's going to be really hot, so if you can water as well, and more as well. 3 things there: heat, sun, water and cutting. Well, that's 4 things. We're going to get that thicker lawn quicker. So I'm going to cut it while I'm here. I'm going to get my fork out because I'm just seeing a few bits of weed grasses poking through. I'll get that one while I'm here. I like to get my my van keys out. Can you hear that wind? Won't be spraying here today. I'll just get my key out so I don't lose track of this, because sometimes you end up forgetting where it was. So you can see there. Just get that. Oh, sorry. Just get that one there like that. And get that out. It's not annual meadow grass, but it's just not something that I want in there because it's one of them that grows laterally along the surface and just evades the mower eventually. So we'll get it out now. But I think from where I was when we first started this job a few weeks ago, this was absolutely riddled with annual meadow grass. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for this one because I have done a really good job in getting it pretty much, not 100% free, but you know, no seed heads knocking about, which is a good sign. So let's get the cylinder out and we'll give it a double cut today. We'll go up and down that way, and then we'll go up and down that way and give ourselves some nice tartan stripes. Because eventually what I want to do is I want to start burning in 4-stripe widths rather than double stripes. Great for spraying, but visually on this lawn I prefer the wider stripes. So we'll start that in a few weeks' time once we get some proper growth and the grasses like get really sturdy and it's a bit easier to manipulate then. Whereas at the minute you do more harm than good mowing back on yourself, I think. So I'll just give that another week or two and then we'll start burning in that pattern that we want. Let's get on with it. Right, okay, so I think you'll agree that looks pretty good. What I did was on the first pass, I left the lawn a little longer, and then on the second pass, going up the lawn, I reduced the height by a couple of millimetres. Just didn't want to take it all off in one go. I think it's better to do it in 2 stages. What we want to do now is just keep up the cutting regime every couple of days. And what is coming up is the hot weather, so we need to be mindful of watering. We want to get loads of water in there now, which we've done, building it up with the wetting agent, and then the water that we have had has gone in. So imagine the pavement after it rains dries out within a few minutes. Now the same thing with the lawn. If you let the lawn get really dry and you try watering, it's just going to dry out. So up until the weekend, let's get loads of water in there, and then we're not chasing our tail. So that's the tip of this evening. So we'll see you next time, and take care. Bye bye now.